Picture a future where every classroom, whether it is in a big city or in a small village, possessed with the technology and fresh ideas. Instead of just having policies on paper, we turn them in real that make learning exciting and accessible for everyone. I'm Dr. Gnaneshwer Reddy, founder of Accountable Hindustan, a platform dedicated to driving transparency, accountability, and innovation in India's healthcare, education, policy, and technology sectors. Today, we are going to spend the next few minutes looking at how to transform our education system, a system that supports more than 300 million students with 248 million currently enrolled in schools as of 2024 data. I will outline the biggest challenges we are up against and share practical solutions that have already worked in other countries. We will see how technology and smart policies can make learning more effective, and I will also suggest ways for policymakers and education ministers to help make these changes a reality. Our mission is simple: to build an education system where every child has access to quality learning, no matter where they live or who they are. Let's start by looking at where things stand today. India's education system is huge, but it's also faced big hurdles. Thanks to Odyssey Plus, one of the largest management information systems launched by Minister of Education, we have removed 3.7 million ghost entries. Now, more than 197 million students are tracked using Aadhaar-linked IDs, making it easier to see where resources are needed the most. However, these advances also highlight major issues. Government school enrollment dropped from 72.9% in 2022 to 66.8% in 2024 as private schooling grows. Basic infrastructure is lacking in many schools. 10% schools have no electricity, and only 57% schools have functional computers. Teacher shortages are acute, even though programs like Nishita train 1.2 million teachers each year. Only 34% of our teachers use digital tools compared to 65% in Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development country. Only 23% of rural households have reliable internet, hindering digital education. These numbers aren't just figures. They represent the daily reality for millions of students and teachers. They also point to where improvements are needed most. Now, let's explore how we can turn these challenges into opportunities by looking at global best practices and solutions that policymakers and education ministers can adapt. Let's begin with our teachers. They truly are the backbone of our education system. In Finland, for example, every teacher holds a master's degree, benefits from continuous professional development, and works in an environment that encourages innovation and research. This approach shows how powerful it is to invest in our educators. What can India do? Number one, revise training programs. Modernize teachers' training to include digital tools, AI literacy, and new teaching methods. Number two, offer ongoing professional development by strengthening regional institutes of education so teachers receive regular support and upskilling opportunities. Number three, incentives and autonomy. Reward excellence through performance-based incentives and give teachers more freedom in the classroom, allowing them to adapt lessons creatively. Just imagine classrooms where teachers are both experts in their subjects and skilled with the technology. This not only boosts learning, but also sparks innovation in students. As education ministers and policymakers, consider allocating dedicated funds and resources to these training initiatives. Reforming teachers' education is a strategic investment that will yield improvements across every level of learning. Digital tools can help us overcome many of our current challenges. Countries like South Korea and Singapore set a great example. Almost every school there has high-speed internet and classrooms use the latest technology. What India should aim for? Number one, and for all, Expand the BharatNet projects so every school, especially in rural areas, has reliable high-speed internet. Number 2. AI and education solution. Partner with edtech startups to roll out AI-powered platforms that customize lessons for each student, provide automated feedback, and offer real-time language translation. Number 3. Digital literacy programs. Launch nationwide initiatives to train our teachers in digital skills, aiming to match or surpass the 65% benchmark for teachers' adaptation in classrooms. Imagine an AI tutor that tailors lesson to each student's pace, or virtual labs that let students conduct experiments safely from home. These are not just dreams. They are within the reach if we commit to a digital-first strategy. Invest in digital infrastructure and teachers training, embrace partnerships with the technology firms, and ensure that digital transformation is a cornerstone of your education policies. In National Education Policy 2020, we have moved away from the old 10+2 format and introduced a child-centric 5+, 3+, 3+4 model that starts education earlier and adapts as students grow. Here, how to come. Old system 10+2 starts formal schooling at age 6, leaves out early childhood, age between 3 and 6. New system 5+, 3+, 3+4. First 5 years, age between 3 and 8, includes early childhood care and education, focuses on play-based learning and overall development. Next 3 years, age between 8 and 11, builds on early learning with more structured education, prepares children to transition smoothly into formal academics. Following 3 years, age between 11 and 14, introduces more subject-specific learning, still gives flexibility and child-focused methods. Last 4 years, age between 14 and 18, secondary stage for deeper, more specialized studies. Prepares students for higher education or vocational pathways. This approach is designed to provide a strong, comprehensive foundation right from the early years, ensuring that every child is well prepared academically and holistically as they progress through their education. In short, this model starts education early, covering ages 3 to 6, while providing a flexible approach to teaching and learning as children move through each stage. It's a shift from a one-size-fits-all approaches to a more nuanced, child-centric model that aims to nurture every aspect of a child's development. Having laid out the new 5+, 3+, 3+4 model and its emphasis on early childhood education, let's broaden our perspective. Around the world, many education systems are already blending creative, interdisciplinary methods with real-world hands-on learning. By looking at these global inspirations and adapting them to our own context, we can truly bring our reformed curriculum to life. This is how we can move forward. Interdisciplinary learning. Estonia and many OECD countries emphasize critical thinking, creativity, and problem solving through flexible curricula. Experimental learning. Project-based education and hands-on internships are integral in advanced education system. Our plan for India. The implementation of National Education Policy 2020 ensure every state fully adopts the 5+, 3+, 3+4 model with strong support for early childhood education. Embrace multilingual education. Strengthen initiatives like Bharatiya Bhasha Pustak Scheme with allotted 20,000 crore to provide digital resources in 22 languages. Promote experimental learning. Integrate internships, projects, and real-world problem solving into the curriculum. Education ministers should consider policy frameworks that provide flexibility for schools to adapt these innovations while maintaining high standards of learning. We have covered curriculum and teaching reforms, but without solid infrastructure, even the best ideas fall flat. Today, many schools, particularly in rural, lack basics like electricity or computers, making it tough to implement modern teaching methods or digital tools. Let's see what we can learn from countries that have addressed these very challenges and look at the steps we can take right here in India. Learning from global models. Nordic countries and Estonia have conquered both physical and digital barriers through substantial investments in modern facilities, robust internet connectivity, and well-equipped classrooms. Our steps forward. Number 1. Upgrade school infrastructure. Focus on supplying reliable electricity, modern classrooms, and computer labs, especially in underserved regions. Number 2. Public-private partnerships. Harness partnerships with the private entities to build and upgrade school facilities, drawing inspiration from successful models in the UK and Australia. Number 3. Mobile learning solutions. Develop mobile learning platforms to bring quality education to areas with traditional infrastructure, ensuring every child can learn no matter where they live. Focus on equitable distribution of resources. Budget allocations target not only urban centers but also the underserved rural areas to create a level playing field. So far, we have discussed early education and infrastructure, but higher education also plays a crucial role in shaping our future. Despite our potential, India's universities still struggle to rank among the world's best, largely due to the low research and development spending and limited global partnerships, limited research investment. India invests only about 0.7% of its GDP in research, which is far below what's needed to create a cutting-edge academic environment. Global rankings. None of our universities have yet broken into the world's top 100, reflecting strong research output and global collaborations. What lessons we can learn from abroad? Israel and South Korea. These countries have built thriving research ecosystem by heavily funding research and development and establishing strong ties between universities, industries, and government agencies. What India must do? Boost research and development spending, aim to increase research funding to at least 3% of GDP, driving innovation across critical sectors. Number 2, foster international collaborations. Develop academic partnerships around the world and consider overseas campuses like the proposed global IIT expansions to bring in fresh ideas and global standards. Number 3, invest in faculty upskilling. Provide ongoing professional development for university professors and researchers, ensuring they stay abreast of cutting-edge methods and technologies. Policymakers should incentivize research, provide grants, and streamline international collaborations to elevate our higher education standards. National Education Policy 2020 suggests spending 6% of GDP on education, but we are currently at about 3.5%. Even though the 2024-2025 education budget has increased to 1.28 trillion, which is up by 6.22%, we still have a long way to go. Key reforms to consider. Number 1, increase spending. Aim for 6% of GDP to be spent on education, focusing on areas like teachers training, digital infrastructure, and research. Number 2, tax reforms. Reduce on educational services from 18% to 5%. to make education more affordable. Number 3, unified regulatory bodies. Merge agencies like UGC, AICTE, and into one clear, transparent authority for better oversight and accountability. Number 4, public-private partnerships. Work with private companies and use government funds to support, especially in building new facilities, upgrading tech, and fostering innovation. By adopting these measures, India can ensure that its education system is well-funded, well-governed, and ready to meet the demands of the future. Your decisions today will shape the future of millions. Embrace these reforms, invest wisely, and build a framework that transforms our education system into one that is modern, efficient, and equitable. As we wrap up, India's education system faces big challenges like falling government enrollment, teacher shortages, limited infrastructure and a digital divide, but there are proven global solutions we can adapt. Our roadmap includes boosting teacher training, going digital, refining our curriculum, modernizing infrastructure, and pursuing bold policy reforms. With these steps, we can turn today's challenges into tomorrow's successes. It must ensure that every child receives a world-class education. As policymakers, education ministers, and every stakeholder to come together and help build an education system that truly empowers every child. Let's turn statistics into success stories. Visit Accountable Hindustan for more insights, collaborations, and updates on this transformative journey. If you found this discussion helpful, please like, share, and subscribe. Together, we can create a future-ready India where every student has the tools to thrive. Thank you for listening. Stay engaged, stay informed, and let's work together for a brighter and more equitable future for India's education system. Thank you again. Jai.